Let's go back 1 week and a little beach blanket bingo. There's the lovely Stella in the Go for Dunes MX track. Captain Benoit without Royal distributing hole shot. He goes on to win the first moto. Trombley with issues. Second moto, DECOTIS up into his grill. Pettis with some more sand plowing issues. DECOTIS keeps the pressure on, but Benoit is the master. Clean sweep as we go to Ottawa. Welcome, race fans, to round 6 of the 2015 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. This week, it's the Sandali MX Park, just outside of our nation's capital. Brian Cosser and Mark Travers in the booth with the MX2 pilots on the line. After choosing their gates, qualifying is done. Let's look at the points after 5 of 10 rounds. Benoit Stranglehold, DECOTIS second, MEDAGLIA Savage, and Dylan Wright on his home track today. He should be good.
Yeah, definitely. Sean Moffenbauer not too far behind Wright. And look at that logjam there with Berger and Noddet. Those boys are tight. Pettis, he's slowly crawling his way forward, and Rarick struggling a bit in 10th.
All right, riders now coming out onto parade. Of course, they come out in the top 5. There's Dylan Wright sitting 5th in points with a nice wheelie coming out. And then the balance of the riders based on qualifying positions coming out through this gorgeous start straight. Of course, the Sandali track, it's sand, Brian. It's not the same as Gopher last week, but it is going to be a dynamic race surface today.
No doubt about that, Travs. Tire choice, a bit of a dichotomy for the riders. They torn between that scoop tire for the start and an intermediate tire for the rest of the circuit. And here it is. They've changed it a little more spectator friendly. There at the mechanics area, it is a bit hard underneath. A lot of hip jumps in the corners on the insides to kind of spread out the lines here. You know, one line is always a rider's complaint, so they want to put those little hip jumps in to kind of spread out the lines.
The thing that you notice most about Sandali is it's not bottomless sand like you see at Go for Dunes. There's a lot of clay underneath, so you get those sharp edges. Riders have to be on their toes, especially when they're experimenting.
Well, definitely, and that's why that sand tire they want for the start, but then it slips out in some of these corners.
Look at those 4 beautiful Rockstar gals racing next. Welcome back to Richmond, Ontario in the Sandali MX track. This is the 2015 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. MX2 pilots on the line. Brian Cosser and Mark Travers in the booth. And I have to say, Thats, I'm feeling a little giddy. I'm pretty excited about the second of 3 sand races. I love this place. I love motocross racing. Julia, hot as nails, 30 board up.
Paul Kingsley overseeing the procession. Like the mechanics fanning the riders. That's Jimmy DeCoitis mechanic. Taking care of business. They got umbrellas. Benoit right on the inside. Funny, lined up right next to his rival, the 105, and that's the hometown 101 rider, Jimmy DeCotis.
This first MX2 moto is brought to you by Pro Circuit. That's racing development. Back to the gate, Brian. It's down. Benoit on the inside. They come into this really short left-hander. Oh, there's some contact on the inside. Who's going to get that Royal distributing hole?
It's Benoit all the way. And did you see the elbows? We got riders down all over the place. Did you see the little elbow war with DeCoitis and Benoit there? They were definitely jostling. Don't see DECOTIS. Jeremy MEDAGLIA, nice. Oh, bumped by Wright. Wright has a moment. Oh, and Martinez is back from his shoulder injury on that monster Kawasaki, sitting about 6th. Not bad for Martinez.
The homeboy, number 20, Dylan Wright, did not get a good start, Brian. He was mired back, and I'm pretty sure that DECOTIS went down in the first corner. Great start for the 108 Monster Energy Kawasaki of Wright. You talked about him. Second race here, Benoit in the lead over the second tunnel. One of my favorite parts of the track on their way to the Hell's Kitchen.
And Liam O'Farrell, the Orange Motorsport KTM there. That's the 2-stroke, the number 22. He's got a great start, sitting 4th. Looks like Jeremy Pronovo, another 2-stroke KTM, right in the mix. He's battling with the 134 Martinez.
Pronovo on the Dylan KTM. Great to see him up in the sand. You know he loves it, Brian. And you're right, Cole Martinez looking sharp. He's a great rider, Brian. Again, that stand-up style.
Yeah, and he's got the elbows up, tall and lanky there. Nice pass back on Pronovo. Damaged his shoulder really bad at round 2 in Nanaimo, and that was tangling with Jerry MEDAGLIA. So he missed a lot of rounds. It was gut-wrenching for the poor kid. He wanted to ride so bad. Here he is, giving it his all, but who knows what his conditioning could be like towards the end. This is a rough track, and you know what, Trev? Everything, it comes up through the hands and shoulders.
Only been on the bike for weeks. We get back to the start, Brian. Pronovo with a nice start on the inside. There's some carnage inside for sure. Benoit smooth as silk, carrying speed on that 2-stroke, and he gets the Royal distributing hole shot. Wow, that's 3 in a row.
Look at the carnage here, and there it is, the 105. Jimmy DeCoitis, look at all that Royal distributing banner right up in his back wheel. And you know what, Travis? It looks like it's on the right side. That's where the back brake is. that's known to overheat and cook the back brake when you get all that plastic wrapped in there. So we'll see what kind of...
we got some contact out on the track, Brian. The number 20 of Dylan Wright crossing lines and taking the front wheel of Little Muff out. And here comes Savage. Wow, that was a tough one. He just about got tattooed by Pronovo.
He just took a digger there for sure. And here it is. Wright's trying everything to get around the outside of Pronovo, gets a little wheel spin, and Muff's got nowhere to go, almost gets mowed by Pronovo. Evasive action by the 34 of Weston Ronzina. Again, a great start for Weston. This is his second race. He did go for dunes, did really well, so we'll see what Weston can do. And Weston right here is Jeremy's teammate.
Back up toward the lead package, the number 1 of Kevin Benoit in the lead, the number 21, Jeremy MEDAGLIA in second place, super tight right now. To the 17, that's the GP Bikes KTM of Seth Rarick, and here comes Dylan Wright, the homeboy. Young fella, a lot of laps in this track, kid's hot.
He's got kid juice working.
Whoa!
Oh, and Rarick goes down. Oh, man, just thinking Rarick had a great start. He needs it so bad because he's always such a fast rider. He is a contender, but he just can't get those finishes together. And an untimely crash. Morgan Berger now putting some pressure on Weston Ronzina.
Nice to see Rosina up there. You talked about him only running in the East Coast. He's a fast young kid. Didn't have the season he wanted last year, but man, love to see him out in the track. And here comes that battle for the lead. Look at MEDAGLIA go. Kempville, Ontario, this is where he's from. He's got a lot of laps out here as well, Brian. He knows how to work this sand.
Man, these two guys, Travis, are on fire. They are just distancing themselves from third. Now Wright gives it to Martinez. Wright is not afraid of a little contact. I don't think he goes looking for it. He's just such a wild child. It happens, but Martinez, respectable retaliation there, and he knows that Wright's from here, so Martinez would be wise to maybe follow his lines, maybe pick up a pointer or two from the homeboy.
Dylan Wright has been making passes like that all season. I remember back to Calgary when he did that same thing to Jeremy MEDAGLIA. Whoa, my goodness, back to the lead. Benoit looking good in the two-stroke, carrying speed, but look at how close Jeremy is. Scrubbing, Brian, scrubbing.
Oh man, I'm just waiting for Jeremy to win one of these things, man. Like, he is so consistent. Benoit has been on fire. Hard rider to take down, but in third is the 108 of Wright. Wright was racing Canada for Blackfoot many years ago. Definitely a fast rider, but again, conditioning, not a lot of time leading up to this eastern swing on the bike.
To our leaders, Kevin Benoit in control right now. Brian's got the number 1 red flag. That means he's leading the points in this class. But Jeremy MEDAGLIA, I love the way he's attacking. He's in the top 3 for a reason, Brian. Great to see him on that GDR Honda. Oh my goodness, the number 20 of Dylan Wright over the finish line takes third place away from Wright, and Wright is on the pipe.
Well, Wright really knows that finish line landing and that right-hander, how to set guys up. So Wright's been making moves there all day. Now Rothenmeier, he's flying. He gets up and past Martinez again. Remember, he went down early. So now 14, we know, is in tip-top physical condition. And we're going to see good things, but look at Martinez.
Like nice comeback.
Good racing.
Yeah, this is for 6th place, Brian. You talked about the temperature early on. It's so humid out today. These riders are down. Oh, Moffenbauer in the inside comes back and gets Martinez. What a pass, but difficult today with the temperature.
Oh, absolutely. Martinez got caught out in that soft stuff, and on these 250Fs, it really sucks the horsepower when you kind of just get out of that main groove and into that deep stuff. Out front, though, Benoit's just floating on top of it, and boy, does he look sharp in that turquoisey kind of robin's egg blue gear. It really stands out on the bike.
Back tuned to the number 14 of Sean Moffenbauer, now going inside on the 108 of Sean Wright. Little Muff went down early, Brian, but he's been in attack mode ever since. You got to get up, you got to make some passes and get some points to our lead package. Look at how tight MEDAGLIA. He's pushing Benoit. Benoit hasn't been pushed like this since Go for Dunes and Jimmy DECOTIS.
Absolutely, he's getting a wheel right in there. Benoit has to know he's there. Benoit has a bit of advantage coming into the lap riders. They see the blue flag and they hear that two-stroke and they're kind of conditioned to know, okay, Benoit's coming. But with the 4 strokes, they just think they're racing, you know, the guys they're racing, and then all of a sudden there's the 21. So Benoit kind of splitting through, but when these guys get lapped, they usually know the next group of fast boys are coming.
Well, the lappers and the blue flag has been an issue so far this season, Brian. Everyone's trying to get on the same page. It's difficult when you have riders with different speeds. You know you're going to get into lappers sooner or later. And there you see official Daryl Murphy down there getting that blue flag as they're in the kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is the Hell's Kitchen. It's the pro-only part of the track. and then they blast down that tree line. The 762 Devil's Lake MX, Blake Savage sitting 6th right now, but he's pressuring O'Farrell for second as they go through that underwear right-hander and over the big KTM step down. Over jumping here, and we've seen a lot of guys crash in that arcing left-hander. It's real easy when you're carrying speed for the wheels to dish out.
Savage with a scrubber. Oh, he is off the bike hard, Brian, and rolls down the top of that tabletop. Right back up, though.
Unbelievable action there. Those ruts can really grab you. He kind of jumped in there and just kind of lost the balance a bit. He was trying so hard to make the pass on O'Farrell, and when you crash like that, it can really bend up the levers, handlebars. It takes a while to get going. Now, here it is. He comes around the outside, carrying momentum. He's looking up. He thinks everything is peachy keen here. Just gets in this rut a little sideways, lands, and this is classic high side, and just illustrating while Blake Savage is half man, half rubber.
There's no doubt about it. He tried to scrub off the face, it looked like, Brian, and got it all wrong. And over the bars, he went to the number 20, Dylan Wright. He's the homeboy here, getting his last lap flags on that gorgeous Canada's Motorcycle FXR Yamaha Tour leader, the number 1, Kevin Benoit, coming through that beautiful Motovan sweeper. In control, Brian. Looks like Medagalia's backed off a little bit. Benoit coming in now. This will be his 3rd win in a row, Brian. Starting to put the hammer down in this MX2 class.
Yeah, Jeremy was on his fender the whole race and then just backed off a bit. It was all for naught. A couple close calls. Benoit, wow, on his way to another sweep.
To our Yamaha leaderboard, let's check it. Top 10 first MX2 moto. Benoit, Medaglia, Wright, Moffenbauer, O'Farrell with a great 5th. Cole Martinez, Blake Savage, Wright, Berger, and Protobo in 10th. Fabulous in the impound.
Kevin, the red plate, another hole shot and a victory. Kind of made it look easy out there.
It wasn't easy. It was one of the toughest races for sure because of the heat. It's so humid out there. It's hard to breathe. And I mean, I tried to stay out of trouble. Whole shot was the key in that moto for sure. And after that, I just hit my lines. And Jeremy was there for a long time in the race behind me and putting pressure. And I just stayed calm and didn't make too many mistakes and finished off with a great race.
Wow, another local speedster lands in 2nd spot. Jer, you looked awesome on track. You were challenging Kevin. Lappers kind of got in there, but what a heck of a moto you put on.
Yeah, I got a good start and got myself in a good position right away. One of those things, you know, lappers can work for you, work against you. They caught him up and then they caught me up a little bit, but all in all, I'm happy with it. Bike's working great and I'm going to come out swinging the second one.
Now, Dylan, I know there's a lot of people helping you out. This is your home track. How much of an advantage do you think it is kind of knowing and practicing here quite often?
Well, everybody thinks it's such a big advantage, but obviously I know where the track goes and the jumps and everything, but the track is completely different than the way I would ride it on a Wednesday night or Tuesday night. And so it's definitely different, and it was a little bit hard to get into a groove out there, but I finally found the groove and the good lines that I ride during the week, and it was good.
Oh, the Ottawa National. Look at these 4 beauties. Swag aplenty. Why don't you come out to a race? Welcome back to the 2015 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Koster in the booth on a sticky, hot, humid afternoon, getting ready for MX2 Moto 2. The lovely Rockstar Julia coming across. This is the Sandali MX facility. Fabulous place. The second MX2 Moto will be brought to you by Max Convenience Store. That's the place that Fabs and I like to go get all of our convenience items like jugged milk. We love Rockstar, ice cold beverages, you name it, they got it. Boys are on the line. We're getting ready for the second moto. It's gonna be a beauty.
Well, I always shop there when we go racing, a little partial to nibs, but that gets me through the drive, waiting for the gate to drop. Benoit again up that inside, not at the side of him this time. And this time Benoit gets a better jump. He got a poor jump in the first motor, but still got that hole shot. And Moffenbauer swings wide and gives it to Kevin Benoit. Royal Distributing Triple Crown hole shot.
Nicely done as we go on board with the 2-2. That's Liam O'Farrell, Orange Motorsports KTM 2-stroke. Looking pretty good right now. He's got a good start in 4th place. Here comes Rarick on the inside through this button hook on the left-hander. DECOTIS and the 444. Chris, and great action right now on the action cam. The drift look.
Wow, it is awesome, man. Look at Jimmy just railing the outsides. We saw the number 9 of Morgan Berger getting a great start. He's sitting about third. And right now, the 105 DECOTIS, he's sweeping wide all the way around. Who's that on the outside?
Looks like the number 762 of Blake Savage, who had that big get-off in the first moto, but he gets a great start. Here comes Dylan Wright on the inside of the number 22, Liam O'Farrell. O'Farrell, we're on board with him, a very experienced rider. Love to see him in this class on the two-stroke. He's a great rider out here.
Yeah, he's just getting all kinds of roost fired at him. And a lot of the riders a little uptight with Benoit having that two-stroke advantage. Well, there's O'Farrell. He just got passed a bunch of times here in this opening lap. They never seem to complain when they pass the two strokes of fast riders because O'Farrell's no slouch. But then when Benoit does something, it's all about the bike. I think Benoit could win on a four-stroke as well as a two-stroke.
I agree with that 100%, Brian. I think it's all about rider and what they're capable out on the track. 762 of Blake Savage gets by Cresson, as does the number 20 of Dylan Wright. Those ruts in those hard corners are starting to dig out, Brian. We've seen some real big ones on this track in the past. I love the way this track is setting up in the second moto.
Some of these berms are like bar draggers. The riders are laying it right over. A great jump for the 444 Byron, California rider of Dustin Creason. He swings wide. Mop looks like he's got the whole shot in the bag, but swings wide. Berger's in the mix, and Benoit he got lucky again that time. There's a little bit of luck involved with these starts for sure.
You got that right. And that was the World Distributing Triple Crown. Both of them today. Here comes the 105 of Jimmy DECOTIS on the inside of the 17 GP bikes. That's Rarick. Rarick's been pretty good today off the starts, Brian. Big man on the motorcycle. Love to see him twist that throttle.
Man, oh man, and him and Jimmy, they know each other quite well. And this just shows that Rarick really does have the talent, the speed. He's just struggling with a little bit of consistency and some bike demons. And a couple of untimely crashes. We've seen too many tip overs for Rarick because he's got the white gas tank on that. That's the Enduro gas tank to hold more fuel, because in these sand tracks, they're holding that throttle open. They're burning a lot more fuel.
Look at this little cluster. We've got O'Farrell, you got Pronovo, Medaglia on the inside gets by Crescent, and it looks like the 34 Rosina's up in that mix. So nice little cluster here in that top 10.
Yeah, not great starts for these two guys. So for Rosina to get in behind Jeremy and maybe freight train along with them and work his way through the pack would be great. Jeremy's taking the longer, smoother ways around. Rosina hitting a few more bumps, but they're kind of coming out at the same place as they come into the EBC left, leading into Motels Hale's Kitchen. Pro-only part of the track. These rollers really take a lot out of the riders, and there's a bunch of different ways you can rhythm through there.
The 21 of Jeremy Medaglia was in second place in the first moto, so he's got some work to do. Here comes DECOTIS, wide line, carrying speed. Great to see the number 9 of Morgan Berger up in the top 3 as they go over the finish line. KTM right-hander. Oh my, what a cutback for DECOTIS. Little rip back.
DECOTIS all FX'd are up here in his team's home track. They gotta be just stoked with his performance, not in that first moto start, but boy, did he ever make a lot of passes, and he's such a thrilling rider to watch.
Saw Benoit's nose get a little slippery off of that tabletop. That's the same one that Savage went off. So this track isn't easy, Brian. You really have to concentrate and focus. Back to the number 9, that's Morgan Berger, looking fantastic in 4th place.
Yeah, that black and gold stripped gear is pretty blingy, and there's DECOTIS coming in on him. This is right here's where he makes the cut, right there. Wham! Feigns on the outside, so Berg thinks he's out there, got him covered. And then Berger's got to just check up. DECOTIS just ate him up there.
Well, Berger didn't leave much room on the grill there. He got tucked in nice and tight, but it was just DECOTIS is so much more aggressive through that section to the 20 of Dylan Wright. Now he's got the 21 of Jeremy Medaglia all over him. That's his mentor. Both of these guys know this track well. Let's watch this one play out.
Oh, for sure. And back there, Berger certainly got burnt. But we saw this battle here. Jeremy, the mentor, and we saw Wright. You commented on Wright making that brutal pass on Mechanic. And that's a little tip for Tad.
Wow.
Oh, and look at Jeremy just frying the clutch through that rut there, all sideways. Oh, and he actually adjusts the clutch in midair. He knows he was really burning it, just trying everything. He does not want Wright to get back in front of him. He owes Wright there.
It popped out of the rut, a lot of wheel spin, but boy, did he get on the attack earlier, right? Clutch work, back to the 22 of O'Farrell and the 29 of Pronovo. Here's that section right there. O'Farrell using that inside line. There's parts of the track where the inside line is so much better than the outside, but I still like the development here.
I would like to see Pronovo smiling. He's not been smiling much at all this year. Maybe this finish is going to put a grin on his face. He expects a lot from himself. Now Savage is making moves on Rarick. Rarick just kind of washed the front end there, plowed it, and look at on the inside. Wow, a gear up. Savage goes savage on Rarick through there. Now Jeremy's on the gas. Look at Jeremy pinballing around. He means business on the 21.
Using that outside line, Odie just gets totally sauced coming through that road, distributing second corner. I love his attack, though. That's the thing I like about Jeremy today is he's attacking this track.
Well, you know, Travis, he's got to be uber confident here. He lives just about a half hour away, grew up here, cut his teeth on this track, so a little hometown comfort for Jeremy for sure on this track.
Yeah, it's like a home-cooked meal, Fabs. That's what this track is like. Rarick on the inside, that's where he went down in the first moto. MEDAGLIA carrying speed outside to inside. Oh my goodness, I love that line through the MXP corner. Here it comes to 20 of Wright.
Wright wants a piece of that action as well. Sean Moffenbauer sitting second, a quiet race, but it's the 105 FXR of DeCoit's coming up hard on that Ocean Transportation Rockstar energy drink rider. And of course, those guys all wearing that alias gear here in 2015.
Coming out of Hell's Kitchen, the number 20, that's Dylan Wright. FXR gear looks spectacular, moving up on Rarick, carrying speed on the outside. This is one of the modifications to the track this year, Brian, where they hook around as opposed to sweeping back to that tabletop. I like some of the changes that they've done to the track.
Oh, most definitely. And see right around outside,
nice.
And just comes through.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, he just laid it in that berm, practically dragged the elbow, but just too much, got a little off balance coming out and just threw it down. All that work to get by 17 of Rarick out the window.
That might have been one of those situations where the square edge clay came into play out of that corner because it looked like he just rolled it off the top. Back to the battle for fourth place. This is the number 9 of Morgan Berger, looking great coming through that KTM corner.
Whoa.
But here comes Jeremy. Holy smokes, Berger left the door wide, stinking open.
Wow, that's where DECOTIS got him as well. So Berger liking that smoother line coming into there, I guess, but man, it's costing him positions. And back to that crash for Wright, Travs, you know, a good point. It might be that scoop sand tire that just wasn't really hooking up on the exit as we see Kevin Benoit, Fox KTM, getting that last lap flag.
Here's that pass MEDAGLIA made on Berger. Again, Berger really wide through the sections. You got to get on the inside. He knows that better than anybody. Oh, MEDAGLIA just sucks it right into that beautiful burn through that corner right-hander. I love it.
And Jared does a little look over the shoulders to see, and look at the tear-off slapping the side of Jeremy's helmet too. That kind of is bothersome, but these guys can block it right out of their head. On his final approach, the number 1, Kevin Benoit. 4 moto wins in a row here. 1 corner to go, Travs. This kid is on fire. He got the Royal Distributing Triple Crown. That's like $800 for 2 hole shots, plus going the clean sweep, man. He is stoked. Loving life on the Katoom.
You better believe it. Looking good in that Fox Gear Road Distributing rider. Taking care of the Whitney.
Welcome back to Sandali. Nice shot of these Rockstar guitars celebrating 45 years here at Sandali. To the Yamaha leaderboard, Benoit Moffenbauer is strong. DECOTIS, MEDAGLIA, Berger, Savage has a nice ride. Dylan Wright salvages 7th. Then we got O'Farrell, Rarick, and Pettis.
Sean, as strong as an ox out there, you had DECOTIS all over you. Your defense was impeccable.
Yeah, it was an unreal moto. I got off to a great start with the Pirelli tires, and I had fun out there. I was loving the track today here at Sandali. So, I mean, I was just flowing, making my minds work. I was hitting my marks, and it was a lot of fun to put the Rockstar Yamaha up in the box.
Third place, second MX2 moto is the 105 of Jimmy DECOTIS. Jimmy, a tough moto to get into third. You had to make a lot of passes out there, buddy, but loved how aggressive you were, and I love your line choice out there.
Yeah, I started finding some good lines, and me and Joe from SSS Suspension, we made some changes for that second moto, and it was just spectacular. You know, there was nothing wrong with the bike. That third was on me, so I rode a little tight, and just Sean was riding really good. He was putting in good laps, and same with Kevin. He did his deal. He got out front. And, you know, it's hard to stick with them when they get away like that. So overall, it was a good day, and I'm riding my dirt bike. I'm safe. All these fans are cheering for us. You really can't ask for much more out here.
Yeah, you got it, Jimmy. Not much better than riding your dirt bike. After 6 of 10, Benoit really has a solid day for the points. MEDAGLIA and DECOTIS having a nice little war. Moffenbauer, Savage, Wright, Berger, Pettis, and Rarick. 10.
What a great day of racing here at the Sandali track. 45 years on this track and 10 nationals in a row. There's your top 3 in the MX2 class. Benoit tops the box. You have been watching the 2015 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. Presented by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports parts and accessories. Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook and go to mxnationals.ca for all the goodies. We're going to see you in Deschambault next week. It's just sand, sand, and more sand.